Adults in particular don't like learning new things a lot of the time. They don't like putting themselves in a position where they're going to get embarrassed, and that's why it's so important, I believe, that, in a fitness or a health club scenario, everyone feels very, very comfortable in that environment so they can step outside their comfort zone a little bit, and try something new within the club, because if they do that, they'll stay members longer.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. When you only use that really small part of a club, it can get a little bit monotonous for, the member potentially. If you get them in, doing multiple things in the club, they're going to meet more people, they're going to talk to more people, they're going to stay longer.
Yeah.
It's fundamental.
It's funny when you look at that and you look at, you got your F45s, your Anytimes, your Snaps, your Barrys, round 12. When you look at those, like we get a lot of members from all different types of single entity fitness sort of centres and gyms and boot camps and all that kind of stuff, because I find that people find it hard to stick to one thing, and when you can create a balance, you tend to get greater retention at a club. I know from Rockdale, because we didn't have that. I know from Kenzo, we didn't have all of what we had at Coogee. But you have to make sure that all those areas are really narrowed in and they're really good. Your yoga's good, your spin's good, your hit's good, and then your weight section's really good. And what I say to people is, have a look at your main dish and have a look at what you want on the sides. And you add those sides in, so it just refreshes you.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I have that analogy for everyone, because when you stay doing one thing and you just like that one thing, you're going to keep searching for that one thing everywhere, right? And you're never going to find it. You think you are, but you're never going to get right there. And, over the years, one thing I've kind of been studying is the behaviour of individuals and where they move to. And I think from, and we talk about it a fair bit. I guess when you guys are designing new things for Life Fitness and you're seeing, those functional studios, that must have started to change your game plan of where fitness was going.
Absolutely. And it changes all sorts of clubs, and eventually the bigger clubs that we work with everyone, I suppose, a huge cross-section of clubs. We work with boutiques, we work with, personal training studios, we work with big service clubs, we work with cheaper clubs, it just goes on and on. You see, the whole industry is looking for what's working right now, and also with this background thought of, we don't want to become obsolete, we don't want to be surpassed. It's been very interesting the way the whole industry, the whole fitness industry has started to move. Everyone is really trying to find their spot. So it's really difficult as
hard.
well.
It's extremely hard.
Well, I think it's harder when you're a bigger club like Titan.
Yeah.
Titan is also, it's not just a bigger club, it's a premium club. So you're absolutely right. You've got to be good in all aspects, and really, but that's your section of the market that you've chosen. We're going to be premium, which you're not a boutique, but you're as good as a boutique.
100%,
but you're bigger and you offer a lot more. So,
and the boutiques, which I guess we're referring to, places like F45 to an extent, and Barry's and Orange Theory and these sort of facilities. Most clubs have tried to be able to, that they are trending, like that people like what those facilities offer, but they're hard to be a member of alone, some of those, with cost or the style of programming or whatever it might be. And so what Titan have done quite well, and a lot of clubs are trying to do by creating that unique position, is to have a great spin studio. So you're offering as good a spin class as what you might get at Soul Cycle. A great hit studio offering as good a hit class as you might get at a good F45 or a Barry's or whatever it might be. And the clubs that are doing that really well as independents and full big box clubs, I guess we'd call them, are the ones that are being quite successful. And
They always were as well.
yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. And that's one of the major things I think that has been hard in the marketplace, because obviously I think when I started, it was probably 4% of the population were members of health clubs, and there were far less health clubs around.
Yeah.
Now the latest stats from IHRSA are around 18%. There's way more clubs, obviously, in Australia. I mean, some of the
if you look at the
franchise
last
ones
10
alone.
years.
Yeah, exactly. So with that influx of clubs, obviously there's been an influx or an increase of members, but at the same time, those clubs have had to try to find something that's unique and to keep people, active and enjoying their time at the gym and that kind of thing. So
What's funny, it's gone from a luxury to a necessity, fitness now, because at one point it was a luxury. So in down times when the economy wasn't doing well, everyone said, all right, the first thing I'm going to throw out is my gym membership. But now it's become a necessity because people are realizing more and more that if we don't move, we're going to have, a cascade of problems where you might, lead to depression, anxiety, and
poor health.
much more than that, poor health. And people are realizing that without that, they can't function at work, family, and, even from a recreation point of view. So that's changed a lot. Like back in your day, like back when we started, it was almost a luxury, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But also the fitness centres have become far more professional now, and they offer a far better service. Back when we started, it was the Wild West.
It was the Wild West.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't really know what you would get when you joined a gym back then.
Yeah.
You didn't know if you were going to get any value for money whatsoever. That's just not the case anymore. You literally can't exist in the industry unless you're offering a quality service now.